I'm here in Monterey, California, where Kia brought myself and a few other journalists to check out the brand new Kia Niro EV. It is launching here in the United States. I know it's already been going on sale in Europe for a while. A few of you maybe already have it. It's called e-Niro in Europe. Not really sure why they're splitting up the name, but I guess it's a little bit kind of a fun. But by the way, if this is your first time here, don't forget to click on that subscribe button so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right, so I've been driving this car for about a day and a half now. I was a little bit worried, I have to admit, because when I reviewed the plug-in hybrid version of Niro, I thought it was a good kind of a entry-level introductory to electric powertrain, but as a car, I just wasn't feeling it. There are just too many issues with the engine technology and the electric technology just kind of fighting with each other as I was driving. I just didn't like it. So I was pretty cautious. Now that I've driven it for about 2 or 3 hours and explored, pretty much all the drive modes, there are three, and the features, and I got to tell you, I am surprised by how much I'm starting to like it. Now, don't forget, this is not meant to be a competitor to Tesla or any kind of a luxury car. This is meant to be the regular car for regular people with regular salaries to drive their kids to work and go for groceries and so forth. Kind of a everyday car that's also a compact SUV, which is pretty much one of the most popular cars right now that people demand and people want to drive. So this is kind of perfect. All right, so we drove this car for the last few hours. You drove it pretty hard. I'm still pretty nauseous from that. But all right, what are your first thoughts?
I'm really impressed because, like you said, we drove it pretty hard, and it's not a car for that, really. I mean, it's a great crossover utility vehicle, probably good for a family and just especially city driving. But I wasn't impressed how it held up on the road when just pushing it to its limit. It's still a front-hand drive, which is not ideal to have like fun like that. But again, it's not the car is not for that. I was just having some fun.
You were. And so, I mean, as far as pricing is concerned, I know they didn't really announce it, but they said pretty much it's going to be very much in line with Kona EV has. So we're driving the top of the line, I guess, trim, which is probably going to be around 45,000 before incentives. What do you think about the pricing?
Yeah, I mean, as is right now, the vehicle is really attractive. So if it's not much more than that, 45,000, I think it's going to be a pretty important vehicle in this segment.
Right. So do you think this is in any way going to take any customers away from the Model 3?
Not sure from the Model 3, but definitely people that are waiting for the Model Y and they don't really care that much about like premium features that like a more premium feel to the car. I think this one's going to be a great option for them because it's available, not now, but it's going to be available in the U.S. within a month in 12 states again. And it answers a lot of the needs to most car buyers, really, in that segment, the crossover, small crossover segment, which is huge in the U.S. right now.
And this is really the car that I think was one of the first ones. Of course, there's a Kona on the other side of the sister brand, Hyundai, that's making you ask a question: why would you ever drive a gas car? This has a 239 mile range, EPA rated. As I drove it around over and over here in Monterey and Carmel, and I drove it all the way from the San Francisco airport, I really wasn't even concerned about my consumption. Plenty of range. Just like I said, I don't think too many people will drive that much. Now, the charging plug here is CCS, so you can use Electrify America and many other fast charging networks that are growing here in the United States and Europe. As of course, Ionity is in Europe. It can charge up to 100 at a 100 kilowatt rate, which is very decent. So even if you're on a road trip with all of these charging stations out there and they keep growing and growing and growing, you're in pretty good shape. Now, I like the way the car looks. Now, obviously, as you can see, the grille was from the gas version, from the hybrid version, was replaced with kind of they patched it up. Let's be honest about it. But I like the way they patched it up. It does look kind of smooth. It does look kind of cool. They have a charging port right there on the front. Some people were kind of put off by that, but I think I kind of like it. I like the display of the electric car technology. So I thought it was pretty good. So at the same time, on the inside, I like the technology as well. It pretty much has everything that you need. I mean, granted, we're driving the top-of-the-line media cars, and there will be 2 trims, but everything that you want is there. There's a navigation system that's already built in, but you can also use either Android or Apple version that kind of goes in there with Apple Play and Android Auto. So that technology is there. It has some of the self-driving technology assistance. I mean, this is not like a self-driving car, but there are quite a few of them that I like it. Now, the my favorite one is the one that actually keeps you in the lane, and when you're trying to veer off or whatever, you stop paying attention. It actually gently kind of reminds you and turns the wheel for you and gives you a sound from the side where you're actually steering your car to, and so you kind of don't even have to look at the screen and to know that you're crossing a lane and on which side you're crossing it. So I really like that. Of course, that has a blind assist, so if you're trying to change the lane while another car is there, it will actually give you a sound, something I wish my Tesla had. It does get a little bit annoying because it's pretty conservative with it. However, it is a pretty cool safety feature. And there are a few others that I really liked. So there are sort of a driving assistant features that I really like. Everything else is kind of in its place. It's got the media player, it's got the Bluetooth, it's got you can put your phone in the center console there in the little slot, and it will charge wirelessly. Everything is in place. I like the knob in the middle where you can change gears. There are 3 different drive modes. There's Eco, there's a regular one, and there is a sports one. I liked all 3. When I was just cruising around and looking at the beautiful ocean here in Monterey, it was Eco mode. When I really kind of wanted to gun it and just to enjoy the car, that was the sports mode. And it doesn't feel overdone. It feels actually pretty good to me, so I really enjoyed it. Now the price. They have not announced the price. However, they're kind of referring us to the pricing of the Kona EV, which means it will probably start around $36,000 here in the United States, and probably top price is going to be somewhere between $45,000 and $47,000. Of course, I should remind you that the $7,500 credit is not a concern for Kia here in the United States. They're actually estimating it will be like 2024 when they're going to run out. Now, I don't like when they say that, because essentially that means that, hey, we're not planning to sell too many of these. But I really hope the demand for these cars will make them make more of this car, because right now they're going to be selling it in California and some of the ZEV states. As a matter of fact, a lot of them will go to Europe, but here in the United States, we're just going to have to step up and start buying these cars, because I actually think it's a great deal. And let's talk about some of the specs, by the way, before I go any further. Of course, I want to remind you that this show and this channel is sponsored by the StarmanGifts.com. Of course, this awesome comic book, I have it all wrong, though it's beautiful on both sides. The Adventures of Starman is available at StarmanGifts.com. There's a discount code in the description of this video, so go ahead and save yourselves a few bucks. There are also quite a few other cool items and apparel there that you will probably find at the very least fun, so have fun shopping there. Okay, so let's talk about some of the specs of Kia Niro EV. Now, it's a 64 kilowatt battery with new net. The EPA range is 239 miles. Which is also pretty good. I mean, anything over 200, especially, almost halfway there to 300, is basically everything that you need. Fast charging, well, I already mentioned that. So overall, the technology is there. And I would say this is one of the first cars, Model 3 was trying to get there, but I would say this is one of the first people's car as far as electric cars are concerned. The range is there, the features are there, and the price is there, especially after the incentives. You're really starting to ask yourself a question: why in the world would I buy a gas car if this is the option that I now have? Now, I'm curious to know if you guys are kind of thinking the same thing. From everything that I showed you, and I'm sure you've heard about this car on my channel and probably many other sources, what do you think? Do you think this is the car that you can see yourself driving? Why and why not? For example, I know some people would rather go for a few other options, and some just they will stay with their gas car for a while. What is it that you're missing, do you think? I really don't have an answer to that. I really think this car kind of has everything that we need from an electric car. All right, so looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.